Good morning, sirs. My name is S.M. Samskumar, and I am pursuing my LLM from Central University of Jharkhand. Sir, in this video, I shall be presenting my dissertation. The topic of my dissertation is the Sarna Dharm Code. Now, what is Sarna Dharm? Sir, Sarna Dharm is a way of life for tribals. But contrary to mainstream religions, it does not have any well-defined, a particular set of norms and values to be followed with. Sir, in this form of religion, we find that tribals do not prescribe or do not follow a well set of norms or behavior, but they follow and worship a spirit that is resides in jungle, that resides in mountain, that resides in their legends and mores and folklores. This is the combination and summation of all those things that we see in a tribal aspect and in tribal life. Sir, this is the reason that they have a very emotional attachment with this religion, but as a matter of fact, as of till now, they have not got any official recommendation or official recognition of their religion as such. This the reason why I have chosen this topic is because on 11th November 2020, the Jharkhand State Legislative Assembly passed a resolution that they are going to recommend the central government to include this Sarna religion in the census of 2021. And this is where everything starts. We see that for Sarna religion, there are a huge number of people who are in favor of it. Again, in my research, I found out that there are huge number of people who are against it. Now, in this subsequent research description, I will also explain who are the people who are in support of it and from where the resistance are coming from. Now, first, that who are the people who are supporting it? Of course, it are the tribal people across the Jharkhand, and they claim that even the tribals from other states are also demanding the same. Owing to this reason, that Jharkhand government has bowed to their demands. Sir, it is needless to say that in 2011 census, there were some 40,75,281 people who have described themselves as associating to the religion of Sarna. They complain that though they follow their religion, but since after 70 years of independence in this country, they have not got a particular religion of their own. As of now, either they have to describe themselves as Christians or Hindus. Sir, it is to be noted that from 1871 to 1941, there was a separate column in census named as Adivasi religion. But after 1947, somewhere this column was omitted, and they were forced either to describe themselves as Hindus or as the Christians. But this is the thing which did not go down well with them, and they said, no, we don't belong either of the two religions, that is either Christianity or Hinduism. We have our own separate distinct identity, and this is for what they are carrying this political battle. And in this dissertation, I will also explain that to what extent they have gone through the struggle in this regard, and also what are the resistance that they are facing. Now, sir, what are the pockets from where the resistance are being offered? Of course, needless to say, first one is from RSS, that is Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. I found that, and owing to the pandemic situation, when I was doing my research regarding the dissertation, I could not meet with them personally, but on phonic interview, I interviewed some of the functionaries of RSS, and they explained it, and they say that actually they perceive that this resolution of the Jharkhand government is in fact as a ploy to divide the Hindu religion. They see that they could describe that Sarna is nothing else, but it comes within the wide umbrella of Hindutva. They comes and they say that even at the Sarna place there is some stone structure like Sivlinga, and therefore they regard it as a part of religion, and also they have their own religious theology, where they explain that the tribals are the sons of Lord Parsuram. This, as they have explained me in the interview, and which I have also included in my dissertation as well. Now, so these are the religious aspect, but the things is not as simple as that. It has also certain political aspects as well, because on the at the same time we see that tribal people are every time asserting that we want our own separate identity. We don't want to be included either in Christianity or in Hinduism. But this is not the case with RSS, and they say that this is a sort of a ploy by the government to divide them. Now, one of the person whom I interviewed was the former Khoti MP, who said that there cannot be a religion in the place of name of its place of worship. Like there is a place of worship like temples, like there is churches, there are mosques, but they are the place of worship, but they are not the religion in itself. So they argue that Sarna religion is a place of worship. They cannot be make a religion in itself in the name of Sarna, because Sarna is a Sarna Asthal, where they go and worship the spirit, the Holy Spirit. That is the abstract form of religion, and they defy it and they adore and they worship that abstract form of worship, the abstract form of a spirit. So they said that this is the name of the place and not the religion itself. When you go to explore the religion, it will be the come out religion as a Sanatan Dharma itself. So this was the argument of some of the people whom I interviewed in my research. Those who are offering, who are mooting against this resolution. Now, so coming down to literature review. While I buzzed into this area of exploring what is Sarna religion, I find that there was quite a limited literature review on this aspect. There were some scholars like A.K. Sachidanand, who has wrote Elite and Development books in 1980. We had Hembram Sinhas in 1988. He wrote Sari Sarna, that is Sarna religion book. There was one more book where in this book he has explained what is Sarna religion and what are its relevancies and what are its importance. Sir, in my objective one, what is the Sarna religion, I have explained it, that Sarna religion is not a well-defined set of a code of a religion like what we see in Hinduism or Islam or Christianity, but there is a amazing sort of flexibility and porous membrane that people can do whatever they wish. People can even worship, people can even do not worship, and yet they can become the part of the greater Sarna religion. And we see these days even the modern constitution of the world, which offers the highest degree of personal liberty. So I can say that when I explored what is Sarna religion, I found that the magnitude and the quantity of and the scale at which they are practicing the personal liberty of individual is just unthinkable in any other religion, be it Hinduism or Islam or Christianity. So this is one of the unique feature of Sarna religion, where you can follow it, where you can do not want to follow. You better you if you don't want to follow it, it's okay, but still you are the part of that religion. And then there is abstract form of religion. There is not any godly figure or some other structure what you have to worship. It is abound, and it is omnipresent, it is omnipotent, and it is found everywhere. This is their concept of religion, and this has been meticulously drawn out in Hembram's book. There is another literature which I found was that Kishore Vidya Niketan, and she wrote the spectrum of tribal religion in Bihar, and her work was particularly confined to the Urans of Chota Nagpur religion, because it was written back in 1988. That's why the title of the book is the spectrum of tribal religions in Bihar, and she has confined herself to the Urans of Chota Nagpur. And in this book also they confined and they have made an explicit use of Sarna religion, that how the tribes have followed this religion. Now coming down to the literature gap, sir, after going through these literatures, I found there was a lack of in all these literatures were lacking one point. Which was that socio-political impact of Sarna religion. Now, as we see that the battle has started, as from the 11th November of 2020, the government has said that it is they are going to recommend the center to include this Sarna religion in census 2021. And before this development, back 2 months prior to that, some 32 tribes from Jharkhand, they staged a protest in Mohrabadi Maidan of Jharkhand, of Ranchi, the capital of Jharkhand, and they said that if the government is not going to include our religion, that is Sarna religion, in the census of 2021, we are going to mass boycott the census of 2021. This was also one of the pressure where the government had to bow before it. An interesting aspect is that, sir, I have also noted in my dissertation that the former chief minister of Jharkhand, that is Mr. Raghuvar Das, who also hails from the BJP itself, in January 2020 itself, he had promised that if he continues in the government, they are going to recommend for the codification of bringing the word religion in this religion section, the word Sarna religion, for the census of 2021 to center. And now when the government JMM came, and of course there is a politics involved in it, and they wanted to make the most of it, and so grab this opportunity, and they have sent this recommendation to central government. And now the BJP is saying that no, it is a plot to divide. So when they were in the power, they said that when we will be continuing the power, we will be recommending the same to the central government. But when this opportunity is got by some other parties, then we see that the stand of BJP is different. However, we know that this all are the part of politics, but this is the one of the aspect where I see that there are literature gaps, and these literature aspects of these scholars are lacking. And of course it has a long impact on the political area horizon of Jharkhand. So this is the thing where I researched, and I also take the help of my guide, Mr. Dr. Samser Alam sir, and he guided me, and he made me to go into the more details, because owing to pandemic I could not make a lot of on-to-on individual interviews, but the people were more interested on telephonic interview. So I interviewed some of the people in this regard, and whose narratives I have also included in my thesis. So, and they are of the opinion that this is a welcome move, because as it was held by the Supreme Court in Bijay Emmanuel versus state of Kerala, where it was said that that true spirit and the true test of democracy is the ability of even the minuscule minority to find space in that democratic setup. So if we are a democratic setup, and we cannot provide our Adivasi fraternities to find their own religion what they want, so I think this is somewhere in my what I've concluded, that somewhere it is compromising that true spirit of democracy. So giving recognition to the saying of what the tribes want is not somewhere compromising with our democratic values. Rather, it will enrich and it will further fertile our democratic ethos, and it will add flexibility to our democratic setup. With these words, I close this video. Thank you. Have a nice time.